Hello, America, and welcome to my first show. This show is going to be called Daniel's Desk, where I just talk about everything that millennials actually care about. So we're going to have all sorts of different topics. It's going to be drag queens, politics, jobs, various professions and careers. We're going to discuss all things that people like myself, millennials in America, actually care about. And so today's episode, we're gonna jump right in to one of my favorite things and something that is storming across America right now. We're gonna talk about drag queens. Now, drag queens have actually been around since the 1800s. At least that's what Wikipedia told me, and we all know how true that is. So, I think that we're gonna talk about drag queens. We're gonna learn all the processes behind drag queens, what it takes to make an effective one, and we're gonna do that right now with two of my favorite drag queens. I am so excited to chat with you all about all things NYC drag. I want you to be real. I want you to tell me like it is. I want you to hold nothing back. Can you commit to that?
You want us to spill it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today we have Monet Exchange.
Hello.
And we have Brita Filter.
Hello.
And so first I feel like, girl, where did you get your name from? We'll start with you, Brita. Brita Filter. Did you drink a lot of water or what?
Well, girl, I was in Cinderella. I did a production of Cinderella in Maine, and I was like thinking of all these drag names and what it was gonna be. Originally, it was gonna be Roxy Cotton.
Oh, God.
Like
Roxy
Cotton?
Bitch,
That's a little racist.
Right? No. And then my mom was like, no, it can't have anything
Your
to do
mother
with drugs.
was like, no, like a drag mother? Like your
No, my mother.
Wait, cotton is drugs?
Like
Oxycontin,
Oxycontin,
bitch.
like
Oh,
Oxycontin.
girl, you know, I don't know anything
I was
about
like, you
drugs.
know, Roxy, mom. I'm like, right.
Wait, so you just naturally like this?
Yes, ma'am. This is God-given drugs.
And so she was like, no. And I was like struggling with the name. I was like, oh, my name's Jessie, so it'll be Jessica, all this bullshit. And then the last day of my show before I was going back to New York, I was at this after hours. It was probably 6 a.m. in the morning. And this little bitch comes up to me. And she was like, what's your name? I was like, I'm Jessie. And she was like, I'm Brita. And I was like, oh, Brita, like Brita Filter. Bitch.
Oh, girl.
I was like, Brita Filter. I was like, that's my drag name. I told my mom, and she's like, I don't get it. I was like, what do you mean you don't get it?
I mean, I didn't know about the drag queen was coming.
Oh,
girl.
we got Bob. We got special release for Bob.
There were so many times other people were passing, and she was like, is that Monet? I was like, well, she looks homeless. Yeah, that's Monet. That's Monet right there.
Wait, okay, so Monet, where did your name come
Girl,
from?
my name was very easy. I was sitting at Dallas BBQ on Times Square eating some sticky wing chicken.
Girl, if you didn't know she was black, girl.
Across the street was one of those currency exchanges. I was like, oh, I always wanted one of those like punny like drag names. I was like, ooh, currency exchange, money exchange. Put a fucking bit of accent over the E's.
Mm-hmm.
Take the T off a girl, and Monet exchange is born, bitch.
Wait, I like that. I feel like if I were to ever do drag, mine would be Mama O in honor of Oprah, because she's just the most badass of badass bitches.
Yes.
And I feel, I don't know, Mama just seems like a
No, girl.
big personality.
Oprah is like black. You're like Cosby black. Okay, girl. You can be Mama O. Mama O is too black for you, bitch.
Wait, okay. So how did you guys get into drag? Like, I'm envisioning when you're a child and the teacher is like, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? Johnny says doctor, you know, Susie says president, and you say drag queen? Like, how do you get into drag queen?
Well, for me, it was funny because like I was always scared of drag queens. Like I didn't understand why they were putting on makeup, why these men put on drag. I was like, it was so weird. And then in my undergrad, Peppermint actually came to my undergrad, and we did a drag ball there. And she was like the host and the MC, and like all the kids that got up in drag, and we did like a little pageant. And she was the hostess of it, and I saw this skinny, back then she was skinny. This skinny.
Wait, did the camera pick up that shade, girl? I'm not sure if it's these trees or...
This skinny, beautiful black woman like dancing, singing, like doing like these kicks and these turns and shit. And I was like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. And then from there, she came my freshman, sophomore, junior year, and I moved to the city my senior year, and then I started going to different shit.
Wait, so
girl.
what scared you about drag queens?
Girls, these like big, like why are these?
It's so intimidating.
It is intimidating.
The most,
right?
I was intimidated. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna do it? Can I talk to him?
Right?
Can I talk to
Right?
him?
It's
Really?
very, yeah, girl. It's just like think about it. Like a fucking 6'2" man normally puts on like a 5-inch pump. He's like 6'7". He's like gargantuan. He has a beard. And you know what I mean?
You're just going.
And it's like this thing is scary, and
No.
I remember watching Tu Wong Fu, and I thought that that's how drag queens were, that they were in drag all the time, because that's what Tu Wong Fu made it seem like.
Gotcha.
And when you start to drag, you're like, bitch, as soon as I leave the gate, I'm done, girl.
You're done.
Yeah.
Wait.
But these men, they were like going to bed in drag, and they were like waking up in drag. It was like very.
Damn. So that becomes your life.
Well, no, that's what Tu Wong Fu makes it seem like, but in real life, that is not what is like.
yeah,
at all.
unless you're Jasmine Rice.
Or Miss Cracker, right?
Oh, Miss Cracker too. A lot of people do not know what she looks like out of drag, because Cracker is always in drag.
I know.
Like from like when she leaves her house till she goes
And
back
for
home.
all you non-New Yorkers, that is a real New York City drag queen.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
not
racist.
shady.
Okay, look her up.
Miss Cracker.
Wait, okay, what about you, girl? How did you decide?
You know, I've always loved like watching drag queens and seeing them. Oh, actually, I saw a bunch of shows in New York, and I was like, I can do that.
Really?
I
Like
can
who
do that,
who
and I
name
can do
drop?
that.
Which queens?
Well, I saw Bob. Bob was like one of the first people, and I was like, I could
This
do
is Bob,
that.
the
I
drag
could do what
queen,
Bob
most
does.
recent winner of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I saw Bob, and I was like, oh, Kitten.
Yeah, oh,
I
Kitten,
saw
you saw
Kitten.
Kitten, girl.
I saw Kitten. I was like,
Okay.
she's great. I was like, I'm funny like that. I was like, but I have no idea how to get started in any of this. But I was definitely intimidated. And also a big reason why I started was because I didn't feel like I was any part of the gay community. Like I would go out to the club, I would go to the Ritz and all these other places throughout New York, and I would just be like alone in the corner, like I wanted to hang out, but I didn't have like my family or my
have a crew.
tribe
Yeah.
or anything like that. So that's a big reason why I started and wanted to get into it. And I found people that were just like me, that like had same interests. And
Okay, wait, so what do your families think of you, like, when you're at a family barbecue, or when you're like, they're asking what your child does? What's that conversation like?
I'm like the crazy Uncle Kevin, girl. I'm crazy. I just recently grew my eyebrows back, but they were gone. And my brother, he just, him and his wife were pregnant, and they had like this whole gender reveal shit. You know, straight people are weird.
Oh, yeah.
They had like balloons
Cut
in
the
the box.
cake.
Right, and then you open it, and whatever the color the balloons are, that's what the baby is. Like the whole thing. That was they were like with no eyebrows on and everything. Everyone's like, why don't you have eyebrows? I'm like, bitch, because it's easier when I do drag. Like, why? You know what I mean? So everyone just thinks I'm just weird and crazy. Like, who cares?
But so do your family accept you? Is that...
Well, I was raised Mormon.
Really?
Yeah.
girl.
I did not know that.
Yeah, girl, I was raised Mormon, like a Mormon
Did
family.
you do a mission?
No, I didn't go that far, girl.
Okay.
I did not go that far. No. I came out when I was 12. I was like, hi. But I was raised Mormon, so my family's like very, very conservative. I mean, they get it. My dad understands now, and he's like, oh, it's like, well, because I went to school for theater, so he's like, I tell them like it's like an acting job. I mean, now they're like, will you paint me like you? Will you make me look beautiful?
Do they understand what drag is?
Not so much. I don't think they get it.
Gotcha.
And I don't think they watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right, that's the thing. My family
But my
doesn't watch
mom
the
loves
show
it.
either. Yeah.
She doesn't like when I'm like dirty. She doesn't like when I'm dirty, but I love it.
Have y'all ever performed for your family?
No, and I really want to. My family is very conservative too, but like they get it. My family just cares that it's paying my bills. You know what I mean? So once all those things are checked, they're like, okay, work. Like yesterday, I did this event for Fashion Week, and I sent my mom a picture. She's like, OMG, you look so fucking beautiful. Can I borrow that dress? You know what I mean? Like that's my mom.
That's like
I
real
love her.
support.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, wait, God. Well, okay, so how do you get into the New York City drag queen? I think most of America, most people think New York City is the cutthroat place anywhere. Like any business that you're in, it's fucking cutthroat. So how did you, think back to the beginning, how did you break it in? I mean, you all were working, 6-7 days a night, right?
Yeah, girl.
But back when you started, how did you first break in?
Well, I did Cinderella, and I played a stepsister.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be forced to figure this out. I gotta do 8 shows a week. I'm gonna be forced to like do drag, and figure it out. So while I was figuring it out, I was like, okay, I think I'm good at this. I'm gonna go back to New York City. I'm gonna give it a little try. And I hit up Ari Kiki, who's one of my
Ariana Kiki.
Ariana Kiki. She's my drag foster mother, she likes to call me, until I found someone that was more put together.
We're gonna get to drag moms in a moment.
Right? But she gave me all my first opportunities. But really what it took is like, I just had to show myself off. But what people don't realize is that being a drag queen is a small business.
It is, girl.
You have to be your own manager, your booking manager, your promotions.
Publicist.
You have to make your own clothes, do your own hair. So but that's how I got started.
Did
I
you
slowly
know all
like.
that going into it though? Like, do you
I
know
did not.
what
I
commitment?
didn't realize
it would
how
be?
much commitment it takes to be a drag queen.
I
You just
didn't-
threw on a dress, some lipstick, and said, "I'm a drag queen."
Oh yeah, girl.
Well, and everyone thinks it's so easy.
Hey, they think so.
No,
And
but
then-
I mean, at first, like, did you make those mistakes where you're like, "Oh, I have a wig and heels on, I'm a drag queen"? Or
If
did
you
you
saw
know?
some pictures, girl.
Oh yeah, but
saw some
I think drag is one
Wait,
of
we're
the
gonna
few-
get some for our viewers. Okay, y'all gotta submit some photos.
Oh, I ain't submitting those, girl. No,
You gotta
no.
dig deep.
I think that most people they make that they think that drag. I mean drag is one of the only careers I think in the world that you learn. You can only learn as you go along. No one can just step out one day and be like a great drag queen. It takes time to become a good queen, in my opinion. Like you have to learn how to talk on the mic. You have to learn be yourself, be more aware of yourself as a performer. And it's one of those things that you can't just pop up one day and be a good one. It takes time to become a good drag queen.
It's like the only thing you can't go to school for it. It's
Right,
like the
you really
only
can't.
the only art form, I think, pretty much underground art form that is like you cannot go to school.
Yeah,
to be
you have
a drag
to
queen.
learn
And
on
it
the-
should
on
say
that.
like that.
And it's a lot of just
Like if
viewing
you really
want to
be one, then you figure it the fuck
Exactly.
out.
Do you align yourself with a drag queen that you feel like you're most like, and just go to their shows repeatedly, or?
No, I just think it's just someone that you just feel like a kinship with. Like with me, my drag, or we're not talking about drag mothers
Yeah,
yet.
no drag mom. So what's a drag mom?
So my technical drag mother is Honey Davenport. That's because when I first
What is a
started.
drag mom? Like, what do they do for you?
Well, I'm about to get into that. Honey Davenport is my drag mother, but she's technically never taught me or did anything for me. It's just one night I was out at the Ritz at Saliva, and she was there, and she was like, at that time, Honey's still a big drag queen, but she was like doing she was like everywhere, and I was like, oh, she's really successful. I was like, can you be my drag mother? And then she was like, sure, but Honey has never taught me how to paint. She never made me clothes. And that's no shade to her because I love her to death. It was just to call her my drag mother. And then I met Bob around the same time. And we just hung out a lot, and our personalities were just together. And you just pick up little tidbits from that person that you hang out with a lot, I think.
Okay, so that's the same for you. You just feel like you hung around someone similar and picked it up.
Yeah, I mean my drag mother, I have two, Lauren or Dare.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
She taught me how to sew, kinda. She painted my face once. I'll probably see her once a year. But,
You have some defunct moms.
All right, girl.
Someone called Child Protective Services.
but like, I mean, a drag mom is like some who will show you the ropes,
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
ropes, yeah.
Okay,
Show you like
so
how
you-
it's done.
Mary.
Yeah.
they show you how to like,
Well, like-
sew. Do y'all sew your own dresses?
Yeah, I sew a lot of my own stuff.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that? Did your mom teach you? Or?
Yeah, but well, Bob taught me how to sew.
Yeah, it's Lauren O'Dare. Yeah, she taught me this,
Yeah.
and some other people. Well, and it's also you meet people out. And you're like, oh, you're a fashion designer, bitch. I'm gonna come over to your house.
Exactly.
You're gonna teach me how to make a dress right now.
Yeah.
I'll bring the wine.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, but when I think of drag queens, I honestly think of the makeup. Like you're contouring with the fake boobs and the big face. How did you learn
Big
that?
face? That was a real girl.
You had the big
Yeah.
eyelashes.
Queens with the two biggest faces in the city, girl.
So how did you learn makeup?
I just self-taught. Honestly, YouTube tutorials just
That's
taught
how
me
I
how
learned.
to learn. Just YouTube
That's how I learned in
tutorials.
the beginning. Well, and trial and error.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
trial and error. too,
A
let's
lot
say
of
that.
trial and error.
So again, those early photos.
When also
Yeah,
you look
exactly.
at you look at people that like you're like, oh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I started sealing Monet's brow for a while. I was like, this is a sick ass brow. I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you just like, it's just, again, it's something you learn just over time, trial and error. Oh, tonight I'm gonna try this. Oh, that didn't work. I'm gonna change it up a little bit next time. And you just learn what works for your face and what doesn't. Because everybody's face is different. A big one for me was Misty Maven. Did you watch her tutorials?
Oh yeah.
Petrolude. She's like the internet drag mother. Everyone learns something from her. She was like the first like drag queen tutorial person on YouTube.
Oh yeah, Misty Minute.
Misty, yeah. And she would like put like all these tutorials about how to make pads, how to make a gap, how to do this, contour highlighting. She was the first one to really start doing that, and that's why I watched. This was like my sophomore year of college, and I was watching her shit.
And is it just MAC? Where do you get your makeup? Is it expensive
Different
makeup,
places.
cheap?
Yeah, it
Mix.
depends.
A mix for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
A mixture of.
Yeah.
I,
Some nice
if
expensive
I
stuff.
can get away with cheap shit, then I will get away with cheap shit.
Because you wash it
But-
off at the end of the night anyways, right? Why?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. It depends. Like a lot of theatrical makeup.
Yeah.
There's MAC stuff. I mean, MAC's really expensive. If you're cute, you can
Yeah.
do MAC. Yeah, I'm
I
busy.
use MAC for like 3 things that I just like to use them for, but everything else is like a mix of.
So how long does that process take for you to get into drag? From this look to drag?
Like for just makeup or like full like ready to
You
go
are
outdoor?
right now. You have a show at 7 o'clock, and you got to get in drag. What's that process? It's 4 o'clock. You have a show at 7. When do you say, all right, I got to go? Start the lipstick and the everything.
Well, it depends on how late I am. I mean, like in the very beginning, I was like, I'm gonna allow myself 4.5 hours. I was like, because if I fuck up, I'm like, with a pencil trying to draw. I was like, no, that was awful. Okay. So I had to redo it. I mean, now I can get into drag in 45 minutes very quickly if I really need to with my face.
Gotcha. Okay.
But usually, like, I like to give myself at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, for me, it depends on how intricate it is. Like if it's just like a regular smoky eye or some other shit, that's like half an hour, 45 minutes. If I'm gonna do something more artsy and a little more, 'cause I like to do, Brita and I, we both like to do looks and stuff sometimes. So I would say that I'll give myself like an hour and a half just to do my makeup, and then like 15 to 20 minutes to put on body.
Wait. Have you ever hooked up in drag?
Absolutely.
Anybody's fantasy?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so have you, what? Tell us.
I remember I brought this one guy home. He was so cute, girl. I found him at the Monster Bar, and he was like, I'm into like trans women. I was like, okay, I'm a drag queen. You know that, right? I was like, this is all gonna come off. And he was like, yeah. He's like, can you keep the hair on? And I was like,
Wow.
I was like, sure, yeah. You know, I haven't gotten it in a little bit. I'll keep the hair on. I'll keep the face on. And then we started hooking up at my house. I was like, bitch, I gotta take off all this body. Little did he know that I was like, whoopoo. It's like a couch cushion up in me.
So there is something called tucking. Can you explain what tucking is? And how you do it?
I mean, I don't, like, it depends. It's not, bitch, I'm a chunky girl.
Okay, yes,
so
ma'am.
I can get away with smushing.
Okay, so you just what? Is it duct tape?
I mean, some people use different things. I don't know what you do. Listen, I can usually just put my balls inside of me and then just flap it back, and my cheeks will.
So there isn't one method. There's no one method.
There.
There's no one method. There's a couple. Like
Yeah.
For me, I just take a thong and I have the thong on and I pull myself back. That trick. There's apparently this thing was a lot of people do it. Brita clearly does, where you can put your balls inside of you. I don't know how to do that.
Oof.
Right? Because
Because
like when you're like really cold in the winter, your balls go inside you all the time. I don't fucking know how to do it. So I just put a thong on and I just pull my shit back and I put a thong on, and also wearing like 3 or 4 pairs of tights. So that just like kind of masks everything on top of that.
But are you worried about circulation issues? I imagine
No,
like.
girl, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have
When you're
I have sex
80?
once a year anyway,
right?
girl. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Wait, so okay, one last thing then. How do you all prep for a show? Like, what do you do behind the scenes? Do you get nervous? Do you have like a lucky charm that you keep with you? Do you picture? What do you do before a show? What's your process?
Try to take a nap before most of my shows. I try to take a nap from
You
like.
like pump up music? I imagine you like get your blood flow in with some.
Oh no, girl! I
Ariana
put on some
Grande.
candles. I put on some fucking like Sade, and I like paint my face in my apartment. I like to get zen, girl.
Okay.
Oh, do you?
I
So it's a
do.
Zen process.
You
Is
try
that
to put on club music.
right?
Really?
Yes.
I
don't know
feel
that
like
girl.
I'd be like,
Boom.
right? I'd be like,
Yeah,
bam,
I know, girl.
That's
Because
my
I-
Shaquita dance, by the way. I don't know.
I usually.
That is what she is, fucking raggedy.
Right, that's her dance.
But I just think it really just prepares me for the show, and I think about what I'm gonna do.
Wait, so where do you guys see yourself going next? Are you auditioning for RuPaul? Are you just more gigs?
Definitely audition for RuPaul. Have you auditioned yet for the
I
show?
haven't auditioned yet.
Girl, you had to this season.
No, I will this season.
Wait,
I'll
what's
audition this
And
season.
that process is intense, right?
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
Did that girl, she
It's crazy.
expects everything?
I mean, the extras a lot. I've never gone through.
It's a lot.
I've
It's
seen what
such
you
a
gotta
big-
do.
It is ridiculous.
Well,
They
okay.
ask for way too much stuff.
What is
in
it
my
like?
opinion.
Tap dance? Make us
You
a
had
dress?
to like do an interview in and out of drag. You had to do an acting challenge, a sewing challenge,
Yeah.
a fucking scrub your shoes challenge. It's like they ask you for all the stuff.
I love RuPaul, and I love if I got on it, great. But it's like it's not why I became a drag queen.
Yeah.
Like I became a drag queen because I wanted to entertain people. I mean, I moved to New York City because I was like, every single day I want to perform.
Yeah.
That was my goal. I didn't know that I'd be going to be doing it as a woman, but
Listen,
And I think that's what makes a lot of New York drag queens great, is that a lot of us come here to be dancers, or to be actors, or to be on Broadway. So we take a lot of that and put it into our drag to make it makes it better.
yes, ma'am. Well,
Right?
we're going to finish the interview by downfalling your drinks, girl. Waterfall,
yes.
get the rest, and thank you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks for having us,
Of course,
girl.
boo. And finally, we're gonna end each episode with a little commentary on society called Gripes with Grimes. I went to dinner with some friends, and my plate happened to arrive first. Smelled my delicious food, aroma hitting my nose. All my friends' plates hadn't arrived yet. But you know what? I had to sit there and wait for their food to arrive just to eat my food. Couldn't pick up my fork or my knife, and I had to wait for them. America, this etiquette rule is antiquated. I am done with it. Imagine if we used it in other situations. Like, oh bitch, you found a husband? Oh no, you gotta wait, because your main bitch is still trolling Craigslist looking for her man. Or, oh, you're gonna get a $20,000 raise? Nuh-uh, because your friend Bob is still broke and cutting coupons. Listen here, we need to get rid of this rule, America. Eat your food when it comes to you so it doesn't actually get cold. Do you agree with me? Why don't you comment in the comment section? Tell me if you agree with me or not, and make sure you explain why. Make sure you tune in next week to Daniel's Desk. I'm done, girl.